Hello, welcome back to the channel. I know I'm live. Well, not live in YouTube live, but you know what I mean. So the house is quiet. Nothing is happening. No one is here. So I thought I'd introduce what I'm going to play with. I have the Paper Rose Christmas Merry. There's quite a few. There's Joy, Noel, Merry, Peace. I think that's it. I think that's 4. That's it. I mean, I know that's 4, but you know, I think that's all there is. And Be Merry. Now we have used this Be Merry before, but I was thinking using a little bit of Santa and masking, a little bit of masking. I don't know. I might put his leg behind the M and things like that. But that's the thought. That's the thought process. Who knows? Who knows where it could lead us? I do have a little piece of cardstock. This is watercolor cardstock. I don't know the range. I don't know who did it. I've just got it all cut up. It's not my fave, but let's get rid of it. Or let's use it up. Which may take me quite a while because there is a bit. So it may get donated to things that I don't really want anymore, like scraps or papers, or not really papers, but little bits and pieces like that. I often give to someone I know has a sister, I think it is, that works up in the country with people who like disabled kids. I don't know, the teenagers or what it is, and they have no budget for anything. For a while there, I was giving it to Vision Australia because once again, no budget. So we're going to use some Inktense pencils. And now I think my husband's home. So we might cut over to voiceover. Ciao. So yes, the husband was home. It's now a couple of days later, so you know. But it also gives us an opportunity to speed things up a little bit. So I'm going to do a little bit, just double checking my image is pretty straight. Just need a tiny little bit of adjustment there. I'm going to stamp it down with black VersaFine using clear embossing powder. We're going to mask that off and then cut a mask and then sort of put our Santa in behind us, sort of thing. The lines are slightly different. This is a little bit of a thicker line. It's okay. All good. I have misplaced my teaspoon, my long teaspoon. I don't know where he's gone, but we're just using this Novo little spoon, so it gets the job done, but just a little bit slower, shall we say. I do not want his sack. You could leave his sack in, of course. I do not want his sack. I just want Santa. We're going to use a little post-it note to ink that up. It's not perfect, but if I was to show you this card, you're not going to see it at all. I've misjudged I think it was little tassels on the sack. So as you can see, even though I did stamp it down a couple of times, it's a much finer image. It's all good. The Merry stands out. So that is the focus. So it's perfectly fine for the Santa to be a little bit finer line. But honestly, you don't notice at all. I'm using Inktense pencils. If you don't know what Inktense pencils are, they actually are an ink. They're not, I don't know how they do it, but they are very, very bright. They react to water, but once they are dry, that's it. Game over. Okay? So you want to make sure that if you have a mistake, pick it up before it dries. This cardstock is very quick with sucking it up and drying it. I don't think it's necessarily dry, but it sucks it up like nobody's business. I'm doing a little bit of ombre with the red. So I've got Shiraz, which is 0600, and Chili Red, which is that brighter red, which is 0500. And just tapping my brush to the tip of the Inktense pencil just to pick up a tiny little bit, because if it wasn't sitting properly or the way I wanted it to, I've just used that to blend it all out. All my reds are basically the same. I've tried to keep the colouring relatively straightforward, relatively simple. I'm trying, not so much with my Copics because I love my Copics, but with other mediums just to try and let go, Sometimes I am a little bit of a perfectionist. I will completely admit to that. But yeah, just trying to let go a little bit. The Santa arm, again, I go through a couple of times once it's dry. And as I said, this cardstock dries really quick. And just adding a little bit more of that darker color and blending that out a little bit, because he is going to be having a little bit of shadow put onto him. Now, faces. In another video, I think it was last month, I talked about not being able to come across watercolor. It was watercolor that time. Colors for faces. Now, that looks really, really yellow to me. I don't know how it looks on your screen, but to me it looks really, really yellow. But in real life, it looks pretty freaking good. It looks pretty good. Okay. The acorn, as you can see there, the acorn, the shoes, the gloves are all sepia ink with 2010. And again, I will go back through it and add a little bit more color once it's dry. But just using the acorn, that color, that sepia ink color, as a shadow. I'm not adding any other colors whatsoever. The same goes for these squirrels. I'm going to call them squirrels. They look like squirrels because they're pretty stinking cute. They are the subtle brown. And once it's dried off a little bit, I go back through again like this and just add a little bit more depth to him and blend it out a little bit more. So yeah, just trying to relax. I said the gloves, I told you the gloves were the sepia brown. I am going to be using this dark aquamarine. Now, I'm only using a tiny bit. This is too bright. Too bright. I didn't like it. I put a tiny little bit in there, in his beard, as you can see there. You can't see it very well on screen, but believe me, trust me, you can actually see it really well with the card in my hand. The same with the puffy little bits. Can you see there, down near the snowman's little pom-pom-y thing, there is a little bit of a dark line. That's what I'm talking about. But you're not going to see it because we're going to hide it, okay? The Santa shadow is also going to be a neutral grey, which is what I'm using here to soften that brown. But the trick with colouring white, is to make sure the white stays white. Like some of it is still white. I'm adding this neutral grey along the bottom and also on the left hand side of all the letters, just so to give the illusion that they have dimension. There's a light source somewhere up in the top right hand corner. Okay. It is quite a strong grey, and I just thought that would be nice and fun. A little bit different. I don't often do this sort of shadowing in the background. Usually it's the whole way around, but I thought it'd be fun. This is where we're going to hide that little oops. As I said, the shadow is quite a strong colour. The grey, the neutral grey, is quite a strong colour. So there you go. You know it's there, but you know, I don't know. Anyone else that hasn't seen the video doesn't know it's there. So I have got 2 shades of orange for his little carrot nose. That is it for our colouring. I am going to trim this down and put it onto a little piece of red cardstock. This is just stuff out of my stash. I am completely going to mess up putting this red down or putting this panel down. But we're also going to fix that. I'm going to show you how I fix that because I don't know. I was wearing glasses. But, you know, I wear glasses these days because I'm getting old. Oh, dear. But I don't care. It's all good. Don't get me wrong. But for some reason, and I pushed it down onto the... Can you see it? What was I doing? I even pushed it down onto the desk to straighten it up, and I failed miserably. I was umming and ahhing about having the card base a cream color or white. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to use white. So I've used my scissors to trim that up, and we're going to use a ruler and a little knife to just fix up my edges a little bit. So my head might get in a little bit of way here, but so forgive me. That is so much better. It's actually straight. So yeah, let's go for a white base. Adhere that down because we've already got dimension with behind the watercolor panel. This is stuff that I'm absolutely loving at the moment. This is liquid sparkle. I'm going to use this all over the Merry, and I'm also going to put it on his hat, like the white fluff, and the 2 pom-poms on the hats. It does alter it a little bit to be a little bit less white, but I'm good. I'm loving this stuff. It doesn't have a fine tip. It's fine. It's not a great big whopping hole, but you use it with a paintbrush and it has so much sparkle, way more sparkle than things like Winkler and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, give it a try because I'm loving it for Christmas cards. I'm just saying, I love it. These are little pearls just out of my stash. They are clear, but they have a silver backing, so they give it a little bit of something. That's pretty much it. If you like this video, you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps our channel out enormously. Take care. Thanks a lot. See ya. Bye.